Hi, this is Amos from Moog Music, and we're here at the NAMM Show 2014 in Anaheim, California, where we're showing the new Moog Sub 37 analog synthesizer. So the Sub 37 is based on last year's very successful Sub Phatty analog synthesizer with the additions of, well, most of the features that customers have been asking us for. We started with the Sub Phatty sound architecture, and we expanded the keyboard to 37 notes, it's 3 octaves, with aftertouch added to the keyboard. And with this additional panel space, we were able to add a number of new features, which we'll just walk through very briefly. There is, first of all, a programming interface with an LCD that will let you do preset naming and saving, MIDI and global setup, and all of your advanced editing features. There's an arpeggiator with step sequencer directly available on the panel. You can synchronize it to MIDI or external clock. You have multiple ranges and patterns, including up, down, order, and random modes, and additionally, a step sequencer with step record. And this is SH style. You can play in a sequence, and it will play it back for you very easily. And I'll take it out of duo mode and back to step sequence. And moving on, in the glide module, we have full independent control of the glide per oscillator, and this is a very useful feature. You have multiple glide shapes, gated and legato glide, and this is it's very useful to control the oscillators individually because this Sub 37 is a paraphonic analog synthesizer, and what that means is it is not truly polyphonic or duophonic. It has one synthesizer voice with the oscillators, one filter, one set of envelopes, but in duo mode, you can control the pitch of your oscillators independently from one another, so you can play true intervals. And just a moment here. And so this ability to truly play independent bass and lead from the same synthesizer voice is a new trick that we're bringing with this instrument. Moving on to the modulation sections, we've also added a second. There are 2 complete modulation buses, 2 independent LFOs, which can be free-running or synchronized to external clock or to the arpeggiator. You've got your classic LFO waveform shapes, triangle, square, saw, ramp, and sample and hold. And additionally, you have a list of more programmable modulation sources. As I mentioned, aftertouch is available as a controller. You have mod wheel and velocity and additional programmable controllers per modulation bus as well. So truly this will allow for very deep programming and very immediate live performance of the sound. Each modulation bus has multiple outputs, both the pitch, which can modulate oscillators independently of one another, and filter amount, and also a programmable modulation destination. So on the panel you have easy access to control the rate of your LFOs, VCA level, the different oscillator waveforms, noise level control, and envelope time. And additionally, there will be another dozen or more, many additional modulation destinations are available on this instrument. This is the most sonically flexible use of the classic Moog architecture that we have yet delivered. Moving on to the oscillator section, we have 2 free-running voltage-controlled analog oscillators with hard sync and with keyboard reset. This is a feature that allows you to set the phase of the oscillators to 0 with each note, which gives you a precise, clean, and punchy sound with every note consistently, which is it's not usually available on an analog instrument. So you have free-running, organic moving sound or a very punchy, tight, controlled sound, very good for dance music production. Additionally, as I mentioned, there's the duo mode control for oscillator 2, and you can control which, whether the keyboard control for oscillator 2 allows you to control whether it is tracking the high note or the low note, or you can turn off keyboard control and leave oscillator 2 at a fixed pitch, droning, while oscillator 1 is playing independently. In the mixer section, we have added on-off controls for each sound source, like the Mini Moog Model D, so you can dial in just the amount of the sound you want and then bring it in and out in real time very easily. There is additionally a feedback control built into the mixer section. This provides the sum of the mix output, all of the sound sources, routed back into the external input for analog feedback. And this gives a whole new range of really rich distortion sounds, very unstable, very organic, very alive. It's a very beautiful sound. This is in addition to the multi-drive, which was also available on the Sub Phatty. apologize, that was a bit too much. It's easy at a trade show to use too much distortion. Please be aware that a very clean, pristine, and beautiful sounds are also very easy to acquire from this architecture. In the filter section, we have the classic Moog filter, resonance, and multi-drive from the Sub Phatty, and full bipolar control of envelope amount, fully continuous keyboard tracking, and the slope of the filter, the steepness of the cutoff is directly controllable from the panel, 6, 12, 18, or 24 decibels per octave, easily available at a fingertip. In the envelope generator section, we have also taken a very complex envelope generator and made it very simple and hands-on, easily accessible from the panel. These extra buttons control features such as single or multi-triggering of the envelopes, whether the attack is reset from 0 or continuing from the previous envelope level. You have clock synchronization for your envelope times, which is very useful because the envelopes can also be latched and looping modulation generators. So you can simply turn on the VCA very easily with a latch button. This lets you process external sound without having to hold down a key, and you can use each of these envelope generators as free-running modulation sources with a range from in the kilohertz range, very fast, down to many seconds per cycle with a complex shape controlled by the standard envelope controls. You put all of this together into a beautiful package with 16 preset buttons and a bank control allowing you instant access to up to 256 presets. The 16 preset buttons will also be usable for step sequencing in XOX style. And this altogether makes for a beautiful instrument that provides lots of hands-on control, lots of sequencing ability without the need for a computer. However, it will also ship with a plug-in and standalone computer editor, so you'll be able to use this in a very similar manner to your standard plug-in instruments as well. You'll have full computer control as well as full hands-on control, and nothing but beautiful analog sound throughout. Thank you very much for taking the time to check it out, and I hope you'll listen to the Sub 37 in person.